Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Designs. I am back with a fun haul and a share as to why I love this this journey I'm on. So many of you know I have dealt with major autoimmune issues, and I mean I thought I had had 7. I found out later I'd had 8, and it was like wow. Part of that is that every doctor added a label, and I got tired of hearing the labels. I got tired of hearing the thoughts on it. I just needed to try to get well, to try to live, to try to take care of my parents when they were sick, to try to take care of my children. And then later, when our grandchildren were born, I was going back and forth. And then my husband joined me when our second grandchild was born. Barring the pandemic, we couldn't go out during the pandemic. But but I had been sheltered in for a long time during the pandemic because, I went and saw, gosh, I've forgotten how many specialists, but nobody would release me. Nobody would let me, feel like it was safe for me to go out and be in the public because of my autoimmune. My autoimmune was so messed up. By the time we went out last summer, we got sick a lot. I'm not going to go into that again. You can go back, hear other stories of it. But I mean, by the fall, I was horribly ill. I could barely walk. I could barely stand up. I could barely take a step, much less walk across the room. I used canes. I wobbled. I was in excruciating pain. I was in flu, feeling like I had the flu from head to toe. There was not a hair on my head, a muscle on my body, um, and a joint that did not feel like it was, yeah, screaming. And I had come to a point where I thought my skin, I have acute atopic dermatitis, so my skin was, everything was full on inflamed. And during the pandemic, I had come to recognize my mother had died of Alzheimer's, so the inflammation can lead to Alzheimer's. So the stats on Alzheimer's are changing. People really look into it much deeper than the typical doctor's answers right now, guys. There's a lot of good research going on, but avoid anything that will inflame you. The number one thing that inflames me and can inflame a lot of people are carbs. So I got started on this particular, I was on the anti-inflammatory it was really didn't start till October. I'd gone to see our longtime family dentist. He mentioned the carb issue. And then when I went and spoke to our family physician, he did not give a good answer. And matter of fact, it's pretty shocking. So I thought at that point, that's it. It's just time for me to grab the bull by the horns and figure this thing out. And okay, God, what do I do? So as time went on, I kept doing my research. I went to anti-inflammatory diet, no processed sugar, no grain, or no, pardon me, no gluten. I did not take out all grains at that time. So I dropped 25 pounds, and felt a little better, but I just wasn't there. And all of a sudden, I just felt like everything was crashing again. My knees were killing me. Everything was hurting. I felt bad from head to toe. Well, come to find out, all grains make me sick. So we didn't know that. And I called my friend, and she's a keto coach. And I said, could you please meet with me? I'll buy you a cup of coffee, and I need help. I haven't seen her in a bazillion years. She looks fantastic. And we had a great conversation. And so I noticed I changed this to this diet. Man, my body was changing so fast. The things that were changing so fast and so miraculously. And yes, the ketones gave me that like, woo, kind of energy. And it's starting to even out. My friend said it's going to even out. And I said, okay. And she just recently told me that. And I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was like, am I doing it wrong? Did something change? She goes, no, it just evens out. And I said, okay. I mean, you still feel better than what you were. Don't get me wrong. But about 2 weeks ago, I started feeling really badly. And I think I've shared with you guys that we recognized that I was not eating enough protein. At first, she was like, why don't you fast? In other words, take it back down to 0, add things back in, see how you're doing, reset. And I was like, I have not cheated once. I don't get off this. I stay on this. I don't do anything but stay in my lane. I don't want to be sick again. And so she said, okay. And then we started talking about so tell me, what are you eating? And I basically told her, and then I forgot that I have this really old habit of whatever I don't finish, I give to my husband. So I also had the habit from years ago giving my husband, if say we have a pound of meat, my husband would get almost half, my daughter and I would split the last little bit. And it was like, because for so long, I really felt like I couldn't eat meat. It was causing, I thought, my stomach to feel worse, which we now know were oxalates and grains and, basically carbs. So she was like, you are not eating enough. And I was like, oh, well, I can't eat anymore. I can't eat. I can't fast, intermittent fast, and eat in this small window. I can't get it done. And I'm never hungry. So when I eat, it's like I don't want to eat again. Maybe a second meal. And she's like, you got to eat a lot more. And you're not eating enough. And for right now, you need to put intermittent fasting away. And now I see why you went to Keto Chow. Because I told her I was adding in my coffee in the morning, which it does, I think from what I understand, it does break the fast. So if you're doing intermittent fasting, this doesn't get to count. Okay. So I said, yeah. And when I first saw Keto Chow, I just saw it full of sucralose. I'm highly allergic to sucralose. I'm highly allergic to aspartame. I'm also have a reaction to erythritol. So I have to be really, really careful. I can do some monk fruit. I don't know about allulose. I do have some. I'm going to try it in a bread because it'll help it brown. I'll see if I'm allergic to that. I just need to know the amount and then of what it is comprised of. And then, and I don't do sugar. So what do I do? What do I do? Well, these are unsweetened. So these, for all my vegan, vegetarian friends, these are dairy free. I believe these are vegan, vegetarian friendly. I'm trying to see. They're gluten free. I can't really tell, but I'm thinking, especially that, oh no, it has a powdered beef protein. Sorry guys. Forget that. Bye. Never mind. But it is dairy free. So people who are lactose intolerant, this is a good fit. And a lot of people on carnivore, not everyone, but some go dairy free as well. Now, dairy is, by definition, carnivore. It's from an animal. So you can have dairy, but some people have a problem with it. And so there's just that. So I happened to be looking at the website, because they were at KetoCon, and I looked at it and went, oh my goodness gracious, they have an unsweetened version. I can do that. Oh my goodness gracious, they have a stevia version. I can do that. And I've recently found out there's a strawberry that has monk fruit. So that's on my list to be ordered this next month in June. And I was hoping it was in this order, but it's not. So I had ordered a small order and I've got it all set up. I mean, I basically have one pouch a day. I usually do it in my coffee. And this becomes I love chocolate coffee. So this becomes my treat. And I either do it with butter or I do it with, which I know it sounds weird, but you can put butter in your coffee and it gives you that same creamy, yummy kind of creamer taste, but it is cleaner and has, far less carbs than, say, heavy whipping cream. But I also use heavy whipping cream. So you just want to put a fat with this, which the butter and the heavy whipping cream meet that, or MCT oil. I don't do a lot of MCT oil. I do have some powders that I will use. I do use Keto Brains, and that has an MCT oil, and I do that first thing in the morning. But after that, I go Keto Chow. But I just have to say, this is phenomenal because this one little pouch without anything in it, one serving is 28 grams of protein. That's not anything else you add into it. So, which you have to add stuff in it in order to get the most benefit from it. And the list of bits is fantastic. Plus it has electrolytes. The carbs in this little packet are, four total carbs. Now, if I look at carbs, I don't look at net carbs. I don't pay any attention to that. I look at the full on highest number carb because I know I'm going to go about 10 at the max per day. And the only thing I'll do at the end of the day, if I have something like that left, I'll either do something like this, or like last night for the first time since March, I let myself have a little tiny bit of salad. And I literally had 1 carb of salad. That's, it was green salad. That's all I did. And I put vinegar on it. Strawberry vinegar, but it was vinegar. It did not have sugar. It was just, yeah. So I checked that out. I was good on that. And I even counted a carb, even though it said it had 0 carbs. So, I just felt like if I messed up somewhere, I've got it covered. So I've also found that you can do an egg ice cream with this, an egg pudding with this. There are all kinds of things that I'm getting ready to try. I am thrilled. So in this order, I just ordered 10 of the Keto Chow chocolates. They're out of the stevia right now, and I have written them and said, please, please, please make more of this in other flavors. Please, please, please. And, it's a slow process. They're a mom and pop operation, takes a lot of testing, takes a lot of work, and I totally get it. Plus, they have to go to all these shows with their product. They have to sell what they have now in order to pay their bills, and I get that. So I highly, highly recommend Keto Chow Core is what this is called. So you can see it says Core right there, and I highly recommend anything without sucralose. So you've got the monk fruit with the strawberry, you got the chocolate with the unsweetened or the stevia. Okay, I have 2 packets of the stevia for my very first order. I have not opened them yet. I'm waiting on those. I'm waiting. Then I discovered the soups. I was just like, what? There's soup? I know, I've been in this bubble because I just kept thinking, this isn't whole food. This isn't what I should be doing. I shouldn't be doing this. Well, because of my overall health, I am not a typical person who does this. I also have limitations in how I eat, etc. So I saw this and thought, this is liquid. I can get this down. That is liquid. I can get that down. So I am going to be trying this. Now, these come in a kit, and in it, okay, so hold on. 1 scoop of the dry mix is 24.38 grams. Guys, I mean, do you know that's like 2 small thin ribeyes? That's basically what it is. I can't do that all the time. I just can't. Hold on, I'm going to cut this. And I know I'm using my crafting scissors. Don't fuss at me, guys. Okay, please don't fuss at me. I ordered 3 of these. And I thought when I did it, oh, what if I don't like it? But they have recipes that you can put these things in. So these are their bundles. So there is a chicken, like a chicken soup, which how perfect is that? If somebody gets sick, I have it. And then a beef-based soup. I adore French onion soup mix. I'm going to try to hack that. And I'm going to try to use a protein bread, toast it, use my little bit of onions for that day, put that in there. And literally, when you start eliminating these things from your diet, you're not going to eat a whole lot when you eat your veggies. I mean, you just get used to the other. But I got this because I love taco soup. Now, this is spicy, so it may end up being for my husband. But what a good deal, because basically it's 24 grams of water. Now, I wanted to see how much do you add to it. You add fat source, salted butter, bacon, fat, oil, heavy cream, etc. And you have to look on their website to see how much. And then you add 14 ounces of water. So, and then you cook it, you whisk it, you blend it, however you want to do it. And if you have a Vitamix, remember, if you change the setting, it will all cook in the Vitamix. It will heat up. I know. How easy. You don't have to melt your butter. You don't have to melt anything. You can just throw it all in there, turn it on that certain way, and you are good to go. So not only that, these are pretty shelf stable. So this is 12.24, 9.24. I was trying to see on this one, 1.27. Wow. And then this one is 1.27. And then creamy tomato basil. Guys, I am a huge tomato soup girl. And all I would do is cook this baby up, and I would just keep it in the fridge and eat off of it. I wouldn't even think about this. And this has 25 grams of protein. If you add butter, it's 26 grams of protein. And if you add heavy cream, it is 28 grams. And I'm trying to see the carbs. This is 13 grams. Now, this is more than I would normally spend. But what got me interested in this was using it in a no-carb bread. And I thought, ooh, what if I made like an Italian bread? What if I made like a Mexican, kind of like the egg light, no-carb wraps? What if I made a wrap or a tortilla? I just looked at these and thought, So I'm going to keep them in the packets for now. But what I'm really going to do now, these, let me tell you on these. So the beef carbs are 6 at that. The chicken is just in the packet alone is 2. Hands down, I want to try these. I wanted a small pack for us to take, like if we're going camping. So I bought 3 packs. I wanted 1 pack for, like if we decide to go somewhere, go stay in a hotel, so I have 2 extra spare packs. I have 1 to play with, and and they have tons of recipes on their website. So you can ask them too when you order for, information like how do you use Keto Chow? How do you fix it? And this is the couple, Chris and I think it's Miriam. I hope I'm right. They seem to have a real passion for this, and I really do appreciate all their hard work. I appreciate the supplements that they also offer. I do the mineral drops. There is just a lot of options within their company. And I think there's an egg white protein. I think it is just a powdered version of egg whites. So guys, and we have eggs, we have chickens that lay eggs, okay? We have chickens that lay eggs. So, but if I were going on a trip, I can't carry eggs with me, but I could carry powder. So am I a pro powder person? I live on a property that we grow everything you can imagine. Why would I need this? Because right now I'm in the beginning of this, I'm trying to get my nutrition balanced out. I'm trying to make sure everything is getting met. Because what happens is, you lose weight and then it just kind of stops. And I'm trying to figure out why. Well, it hasn't stopped. It's moved again. But I just want to stay ahead of the nutrition, because the whole reason I'm in this lifestyle is for my nutrition. It is for my health. I would love to be a skinny girl. I'll never be a skinny girl. I don't know, but it's not my focus. Now, I know with weight loss, my knees will feel better. For every pound I have on my body, I feel 7 on my knees. So I want as many pounds off. I'm now over 40 pounds down. That's 280 pounds off my knees, right? Right? Did I do that right? 7 times 8, 7 times 4 is 28, right? Yeah, okay. That's 280 pounds off my stinking knees. I think about that and I just feel sick to my stomach. And knowing what I was doing to my body, but yet not able to undo what was happening. I had been vegetarian, vegan for a long time. And then my husband wanted to add back a little bit of meat. So we did a little bit. But it was never enough. It was just never enough protein. It was never enough nutrition. And the nutritive value of beef is insane. So this having a beef protein as its base is huge to me. So I don't know anything except for that I read. I ask questions and I read. I ask questions and I read. All I know right now is that I am willing to try a few things. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. If it does work out, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to find a way to use this. But for right now, the nutrition is my focus. Any way I can up the flavor, what a great spice to use. What a great spice to use. Even these would make great spices. These make one heck of a good coffee. I've never had it cold yet. I'm being honest. I'll try it at some point. I want to do the pudding first. So all I can say right now is I'm learning different things to try to teach me how to do XYZ, how to make it easier, how to be healthier, how to be more productive, how not to feel badly, because right now my brain is going like crazy. I'm wanting to go do this project and that project and this project and that project. And my body is still sick. It's still healing. And my friend was so sweet. She said, you know, you don't get there overnight, you know, and she was very sweet about it. And she goes, your body's still healing. And I'm like, I know, but I feel better. My brain says, get busy. Don't be lazy. She's, you know, so sweet about it. So if you're in this journey with me and you have had similar issues, please encourage us below and give us tips and tricks. I find this to be a huge tip and trick. I have not had another sick day since I've done this. I'm trying to eat earlier. She wanted me to eat like breakfast and lunch and dinner. And I, you know, in other words, just eat. And I was like, I can't just eat. I can't. My husband mowed last night, and my daughter, they mowed until 10 o'clock last night, after 10 o'clock. We ate a late dinner. I mean, we stayed up a long time. And she gave me great tips, and I will come back with those tips because they were invaluable. And I really kind of want to do a video of her and her business and her expertise and just the blessing that she is. So that will be coming up. But in the meantime, I'm not saying this is for everyone, and I'm definitely not saying that everybody needs to do what I'm doing at all. This is my journey. That's what these Saturdays are about. They're getting ready to increase a little bit more. There have been requests, so we may end up opening up a second channel. We'll see. But I am not an expert. I am I was a teacher, administrator, homeschooling mom, grandmother, wife, first of all, Bible believer, but this is not my area. I mean, I have spent an extraordinary amount of time in my adult years studying nutrition. There is no doubt. But I'm having to unlearn all the things that I was taught in the early days. And I'm having to rethink and re-understand why. And coming from where I was so exhausted and could barely think, to where I am now, I'm having to go back and restudy the things that I studied in the beginning because I was exhausted, guys. I was so worn out. And so this is it's almost like Pete and repeat got in the boat. I just got to keep going back and keep going back and keep going back. The joke is Pete and repeat got in the boat. One fell out. Who was left? Repeat. Okay. So I have to repeat and repeat until I can get it in my brain as to why. And I literally stood and talked to a doctor and I said, I want to understand the science. And he was like, why? And I said, because I need to. I need to understand this. This does not make sense to me. My whole huge portion of my adult life, I was vegetarian, vegan, no red meat, or little red meat, and, no fat, and all these things that we were taught, and all those diet venues. This is a lifestyle. This is not a diet. So I don't want you to look at this and go, oh, well, she's on the keto Chow diet. I'm not. And even Miriam, I've heard her, one of the woman of the gentleman right here, and the couple, the woman of the couple, I should say, she literally did a quickie YouTube short and said, you can do this once, twice a day for meal replacements, or you can use this to supplement. You need to do what works for you, basically. And I was just like, you have my business. You have my business. And so far, I mean, I'd love to have more variety because I look at all the varieties of food that they offer and I'm thinking, please, please, please bring us more, in the unsweetened category or in the, monk fruit or stevia category. And I understand when people, and I am going to try one of theirs with sucralose. And if I am, again, still allergic because things are changing on me, then I will give it to my family. I am not going to feel badly. And I'm actually going to make a bread out of it that is, you slice it and it almost becomes like French toast, I saw the recipe on 2 Crazy Ketos. And if you're on this journey and you don't know Two Crazy Ketos, guys, go there. They are absolutely precious. I need to get up on the website all of my favorites, my favorite people that I read, my favorite people that I listen on podcasts, the favorite people that I watch their YouTube, the favorite people that I listen on Audible. I will try to get that done this week. But I just, in the meantime, and hopefully it'll be up by the time this goes up, I just want you to know there is joy in this journey. There are treats. This is my treat in my day, because people are like, well, how do you live without chocolate? Chocolate. How do you live without sugar? I'm fine. When you start training your body to not need the carbs, and I literally was in a conversation yesterday with somebody who was fearing cancer because of a family history of it, the answer is cut your carbs. Let go of sugar. No processed sugar. Let go of your grains. Let go of your carbs. Because cancer needs carbs to thrive. Period. Isn't that hard to understand? No, it's not. We've known this. Why have they not said this? So there's it, and I have things that are sweet. I have things like when I put that cream in my coffee, it has a sweet flavor to it. I also use stevia in my coffee. I mean, I have found, and there's other things you can use. You don't have to use what I use. You can find other sweeteners. I don't do a lot. I don't do a lot of sweetener. And I'm cutting way back on my stevia, matter of fact. So my encouragement to you is, if you are at the end of your rope, like I know many of you are, and I'm not even talking about weight, I'm talking about health. You're talking to somebody who was one incredibly sick pup. I mean, to walk from right here down, down a ramp to my car, and then from my car back in, I would feel bad the rest of the day into the next day. That's how sick I was. And I would have to have canes, and I would have to hold on to the rail, and it was ugly. It was so ugly, and it would take me forever to get up and down out of the car. I wish I could fix this for all of you. But all I can do is share my journey. I don't understand all the science except for that. Clearly, I am allergic to grains. Nobody needs sugar. Let's get real. I mean, we want it, but let it go. And I was not getting enough nutrition, and the vegetables weren't cutting it, and the fruit. And there is a way to do this where you don't give up fruit and vegetables. And I'm going to tell you, I just was so ill, I had to. So this is a stretch. This is out of my, you can do this that I set for myself. But I don't feel badly. I've gone 2 months and I'm better. Hold on, guys. Hi, guys. Sorry, my daughter called. I had to step up and turn it off, answer the phone, and get back. But what I wanted to just finally wrap up with on all of this is you have to do what works for you. This is worth my trying. It is worth my trying. I count myself as a ketovore. And when I look at these proteins, this is beef protein. This is beef protein. This is beef protein. That's chicken protein. That's beef protein. That's carnivore. Now, are they adding other things into it? Yes, they have to, because it has to be shelf stable. But it's not crazy. I mean, things like amino acid, manganese, those are things that, yes, are there other things? They're not. There is no, what am I trying to say? MSG. There's none of that stuff. And their salt is real salt, which I highly support. It's just a way to find a way to get protein into my body, nutrition into my body, and to be able to live another day and live another productive day. So you guys share below your thoughts. Share below your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any tips or tricks, please let me know. I am going to make one of these in the blender and put it in the fridge overnight and have it one day when we have to go out for the day. And I'm going to see how that works. When I go in with my husband to work this week, I'm going to try that. And I'm just, I don't want to get the habit of drinking smoothies. I don't. But I do want to say I tried it that way. Okay. Yeah, I tried it, To be quite frank, I'd rather make it as ice cream. I know. I just need a creamy or whatever it is, the Ninja Creamy. And they were everywhere and they were dirt cheap at Mother's Day. And now you can't find them and they're so expensive. So I'm just going to have to wait because I can't afford unless I can find one like secondhand. They're out of my price range right now. So, all right, guys, they also have keto boxes, things that you can choose from, things that you can't choose, that you can get one that they pick for you. I can't, and I've got to call them this week. I want to know, I tried to fill a keto box because you get a discount if you do a subscription of this, but I couldn't find the chocolate core. And I was noticing there were some, they were obviously updating the website for the weekend and it just wasn't coming through. So I'm going to call them this week. I've never called them. So I realized I can call them. Why can't I call them? The number's there. I've chatted online. I've emailed and I'm very blessed. And that's what I'm thankful for. So please, if you guys want more of this and all the varieties that they, or at least in some other varieties, please rate them. Say, please make some either unsweetened or with stevia or monk fruit. Give us some other alternatives outside of, and recognize these guys are working their tail off. So we're just putting a request in, and when they can get to it, I'm sure they will. So, all right, friends, I hope you guys are having a great day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you think this would help anyone, please forward this video. If you're not subscribed, why not? Come on, join La Familia. We are La Familia here, the family. And we'd love to encourage you along your way and your journey. And again, I am not giving any advice. I am just sharing my journey with you guys and the tips and tricks that I am finding along the way, in hoping this would encourage you, because that's what this channel is about. It is in encouraging each other. There we go. Oh goodness. All right, time to go. I've got burgers cooking and I got to get some roast out on the Traeger. So you can tell I'm probably a little hungry. And when you guys give it a thumbs up, when you subscribe, when you leave a comment, that really helps me along the way. And that helps me with our channel, helps it to grow so that more people can be encouraged. So, all right, friends, I pray your day's blessed, creative, and lovely. I love you guys, but as much as I love you, God loves you so much more. Make it a great day and get out there and do something healthy and good for yourself today. Maybe a walk, maybe sitting out in the sun for a few minutes, maybe not baking and frying and all that like we did when I was a kid. Going in the garden and picking pretty flowers and, having your quiet time outside, or your quiet time inside. Go do a facial, go do something that will encourage you this day. All right. So you can live a healthier life. All right, friends. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.